dayZ is a hardcore open-world survival game with a single goal: survive as long as possible by any means necessary. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic world where a deadly virus has turned most of the population into infected zombies. The player character is one of the few immune to the virus, but they are still vulnerable to other dangers, such as the other surviving players, the harsh environment, and their own needs for food, water, and shelter. There are no checkpoints or saves, so when you die, you lose everything and have to start over. State of Decay 2 is an open-world zombie survival game where players lead a community of survivors in the aftermath of a zombie apocalypse. The player must scavenge for supplies, build and defend a base, and fight off zombies. The game features a variety of different activities, including scavenging, base building, and combat. The Last of Us. Part 1 is a third-person action-adventure game where players control Joel, a smuggler tasked with escorting a teenage girl named Ellie across a post-apocalyptic United States. The game is set in a world ravaged by a fungal infection that turns humans into aggressive, cannibalistic creatures known as the Infected. Joel and Ellie must travel across the country, facing off against both the infected and hostile human survivors. The game features a variety of gameplay elements, including stealth, combat, and puzzle solving.
Check for what? I ain't seen a clicker in weeks.
That's because we're thorough. We're gonna keep being thorough. Let's wrap this up, right?
All right, whatever. Motherfucker!
Project Zomboid is a roguelike sandbox survival game set in an open world overrun by zombies. Players control a single character who must scavenge for supplies, build and defend a shelter, and fight off zombies. The game features a variety of different activities, including scavenging, base building, and combat. Days Gone is a third-person action-adventure game set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by freakers, infected humans who are aggressive and fast. The player takes control of Deacon St. John, a drifter and bounty hunter who must survive in this dangerous world. The gameplay of Days Gone is focused on survival, exploration, and combat. Deacon must scavenge for supplies, maintain his motorcycle, and find safe places to rest. He can also take on missions from camps and survivors, which often involve hunting down freakers or other dangerous enemies. The Walking Dead. The final season is a point-and-click adventure game set in the post-apocalyptic world of the comic book series of the same name. The player controls Clementine, a young woman who has survived the zombie apocalypse since she was a child. In addition to the core gameplay elements, The Walking Dead. The final season also features a variety of side missions and tasks. The player can also recruit new survivors to their community, each with their own unique skills and abilities. The player must carefully manage their resources and make difficult decisions in order to keep their community alive. The Last Stand. Aftermath is a roguelite action-adventure game set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. Players take on the role of a survivor who has been bitten by the zombie virus. The player must explore the wasteland, gather resources, and craft weapons and equipment in order to survive for as long as possible. The game features a procedurally generated world, which means that the layout of the map, the locations of resources, and the types of enemies that the player encounters will be different each time they play. This makes for a very challenging and unpredictable experience. Seven Days to Die is a first-person survival horror game set in a post-apocalyptic world. Players must scavenge for resources, build shelter, and craft weapons and tools in order to survive. The game features a day-night cycle, with zombies becoming more aggressive at night. Players must also contend with other dangers, such as thirst, hunger, and infection, the day phase and the night phase. During the day phase, players can explore the world, scavenge for resources, and build shelter. During the night phase, players must defend themselves from zombies and other dangers. Dying Light 2 Stay Human is a first-person action role-playing game set in a post-apocalyptic open world. Players take control of Aiden Caldwell, a survivor who must navigate the dangerous city of Vildor in search of his missing sister. Parkour is one of the defining features of Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Aiden can traverse the city quickly and efficiently, using parkour moves such as wall running, climbing, and jumping. This is essential for both escaping from enemies and reaching new areas. The city is full of verticality, and Aiden can use parkour to reach vantage points that give him an advantage over his enemies. The Day Before is an upcoming open-world MMO survival game set in a post-pandemic America overrun by flesh-hungry, infected, and survivors killing each other for food, weapons, and cars. Players wake up alone in a world they no longer remember, setting out to find answers and the resources to survive. Players must scavenge for supplies, build and defend shelters, and craft weapons and tools to survive in the harsh world of The Day Before. They must also be wary of both the infected and other survivors who may be just as desperate as they are.